The second half of patch 2.2 is soon upon us. It brings with it Orphe, a new fire attacker, and also for the first time ever, she is rerunning with an old agent of the same speciality and same element. Usually that doesn't work out too well for the old character, but in this case I think it might just. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Hako. And this lady, her name is Evelyn. And this lady, her name is Casca, and she's growing day by day. Now, like I said, Orphe is coming as the new character. She's a fire attacker. Evelyn is also a fire attacker. So, like, which one should you go for? I think a lot of people are gonna be biased toward the new shiny thing, and I can fully understand that. Usually in a gacha game, we have this thing called power creep, where every character just, continuously gets more and more cracked. Now, both Evelyn and Orphe, they are both fire attackers, but they have a vastly different playstyle, and they have vastly different teams where they both shine. Orphe and Magus, they are absolutely cracked if you already have the Aftershock team completed. Also, I can explain. I did one, I said I was skipping Orphe. I loved her so much in the story, and her banner is about to end, so I was like, you know what, let's do one last Hail Mary pull, and here we are. I'm sorry, I'm a liar. But anyway, if you already have the Aftershock team in order, Orphe is a very, very good pick to pick up. She's gonna be the best in slot as the third character in an Aftershock team with Soldier Zero, Ambi, and Trigger. And I would know because I've been playing Orphe extensively on the creator beta server for the last 2 weeks. So Orphe's strength is that she works really, really fucking well in an Aftershock team, but that's also her weakness. If you take her out of an Aftershock team, in every single case, Evelyn will have her beat when it comes to a score. Orphe is much more of a niche character fitting into that Aftershock niche. Meanwhile, Evelyn is an easier character to get more power out of in more team constellations. For all intents and purposes, she is your standard on-field hyper carry. She has her best in slot team with Lighter and Asraya, but she can also make work of Yufufu and Kolida, for example. So Evelyn is not as reliant on having the exact perfect teammates, she is more of a flexible kind of deal. So how are they looking strength-wise? I will say that any Fire Week content in the game, Evelyn at the same investment level as Orphe with the best in slot team will probably net you a higher score than Orphe with her best in slot team. Obviously, most of Orphe's teammates are electric, which has some synergy with each other because most things weak to fire, they're resistant to electric and vice versa. Now, just because they want to ship this comp, I could see that we get something that's both weak to fire and electric in the future, and maybe we'll see the true potential of the Aftershock team, then. And right now, Evelyn will net you higher scores than an Orphe will on Fire Week content. So that's strength. Now let's talk about something much more important in my books. Let's talk about fun. How fun are Evelyn compared to Orphe? If you know me, if you know my channel, you know that Evelyn is one of my absolute favorite characters to play. If I had to rank them, I'd put her at number 2, just behind newly buffed Ellen. And why do I think that Evelyn is so fun? Well, I'm really into timing. Any attack where I have to parry or have the perfect dodge, I have to time it, like a Sekiro, for example, that is just up my alley, and I really, really, really love that. And I'm trying to lay this out for you, so you can make a judgment call for yourself, would you enjoy Evelyn if you've never played her and you've never picked her up? If you're the kind of person that likes to have the timing down to the inch of an hair, and to do a lot of perfect dodges, then Evelyn might just be up your alley. If you're not really into that and you just want to unga boonga, she might not be the pick for you because she is kinda squishy. And she is squishy just because she is meant to be dodging everything coming her way, rather than just, tanking it, tanking it in the face. So on a fun level, I would rank Evelyn a 10 out of 10, and I'd only give that rating to one other character, and it is Ellen. Now, as for Orphe, Orphe might be more your jam if you enjoy a lot of shit happening at once on the screen, because that's what happens in an Aftershock team. Trigger is attacking, Sam is attacking, and Orphe is then attacking off-field, and it's just lasers, fires, shots. It's just, if you enjoy not seeing too much and just enjoy that chaos and having agents play themselves, then you might find Orphe more fun than you do Evelyn. And now it is a little bit unfair to compare an off-field character to an on-field character in terms of fun, But I would say that Orphe is one of the more interactive off-field characters that we have seen. There's some element of timing to her EX special, and her animations are absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. So if I were only to rank her against other off-field agents, I'd put her at the very highest compared to them, but as an overall agent, I'd have to give her a fun factor of 5 out of 10, just because I don't really feel like I'm playing her, and I very much feel like I am playing Evelyn. Now let's talk investment level, like how well do they work base kit, how reliant are they on their engines, etc. Now, a lot of people will say that Evelyn is very reliant on her engine. I've always kind of pushed back on this and not fully agreed. I've always claimed that Evelyn works fucking great on Brimstone. If you run her own signature engine, you need to opt in for another set that's not Inferno Metal to not massively overcap on crit rate. If we go Brimstone instead, we have the luxury to go Inferno Metal, which has one of the best, if not the best, carry 4-piece in the entire game. Given that she's paired up with another fire agent in order to have the enemy burning consistently. An Evelyn running Brimstone with a good 4-piece Inferno Metal will give very similar results to a Heartstring Nocturne, Evelyn on Woodpecker or Astral, whatever you want to run her on. Although I will say that Heartstring Nocturne is one of the better W engines in the game, and it's a lot of other attackers second best in slot. So it's not a bad engine at all, but she's not as reliant on it as I feel like a lot of people are making it out like she is. And instead, I would claim that Orphe is slightly more reliant on hers, because at the end of the day, Heartstring is a bunch of crit rate, bunch of crit damage, and some fire res pen. All of these we can't achieve in other ways, although Orphe is hard capped to get energy region if we're not going for her W engine, because we can only pick it up in very few places. And I've personally seen a bigger team score drop-off if you take the engine away from Orphe than if you take the engine away from Evelyn. So if I were to rank it, how reliant is Evelyn on Heartstring Nocturne, I would say a 7 out of 10. How reliant is Orphe? I would say 8 out of 10, with the higher score meaning more reliant. So with everything considered, let's sum it all up. What do I think the pool value of Evelyn is? What do I think the pool value of Orphe is? Evelyn, an older agent, is still one of the strongest agents in the game. She's a fire on-field carry, something we don't have a lot of. And fun is subjective, but in my opinion, she is one of the most absolute fucking fun agents in the entire game. And if I were starting out the game in this patch, or I didn't have Evelyn or Orphe, I would personally make sure to pick up an Evelyn first for a varied amount of reasons, and one of the big ones is that she's that much goddamn fun. So on Evelyn's overall value for her pull rating, I'm willing to give her a very high score of 8 out of 10. And I'm trying to do this in an unbiased way. She's one of my favorite agents, but I'm trying to just value her out from a meta perspective and whatnot, what team she worked with, strength, etc. For Orphe, she is more restricted. She requires a very specific team to draw out her full potential, and that team is an Aftershock team. If you have that team consisting of Soldier Ambi and preferably Trigger, Orphe is the literal GOAT. She is incredibly strong in that team. And now that's where Evelyn is more flexible. She can switch out her teammates for other teammates, and you won't notice different as much. If you take Orphe, you pluck her out of Aftershock and pull her into another team, she's still a good agent, just not such an amazing one as she is in an Aftershock team. Which is also why I'm gonna have to give her 2 separate ratings for this to work, 1 rating in Aftershock and 1 rating outside of Aftershock. And in my opinion, she's a lot less fun than Evelyn, because Orphe is an agent that in every sense of the word plays herself. Now some people will like that, some people will not like that, so I'm just making you aware. But in an Aftershock team, I'm willing to give Orphe a 7.5 out of 10. So if you already have a set amount of Aftershock agents, 7 out of 10 pool rating, which is incredibly high. So if you already have the Aftershock agents like Trigger and Soldier Ambi, I think Orphe is a really good pick to pick up in that team. And if you really enjoy the Aftershock gameplay of having 3 agents on the field at the same time and just clusterfucking the entire screen, Orphe is a very good pick. So 7 out of 5 in an Aftershock team. Outside of Aftershock, so say that you want to run her in the same teams that you would run Evelyn in, for example, I would give her between a 4 and a 5 out of 10. She is still a strong and potent agent, it's just she is that much more potent in an Aftershock team. It just feels like so much more potency is missing outside of Aftershock. So she is more restrictive, her engine is very much more just tailor-made for her, it is slightly more important. Meanwhile, Evelyn's engine can be used by almost all by all attackers in your entire account. So for the first time ever, I would actually recommend the rerun character more, but I would also recommend above everything to follow your heart. Both Orphe and Evelyn are fucking goated agents. They're both super good, they're both super strong. And if you want to go for Orphe instead of Evelyn, you're not making a mistake, you're not making a stupid choice, not at all. For the most part, the only pulls you end up regretting is the pulls where you didn't follow your heart and maybe you looked at a tier list, you went for characters and then you hated playing them. And this video is not to persuade you to do anything, it is more to look at the situation from a bunch of different perspectives, and I'll give you my take on it and maybe give you some guidance in the dark if you don't really know the characters. It's hard to speculate about the future, but I could see us getting more Aftershock agents that might synergize even better with Orphe. Meanwhile, it's almost hard to imagine them releasing characters that would work better with Evelyn than what Leiter and Astra does, because they just fit her so perfectly. So it might be that Evelyn is at the very ceiling right now. Meanwhile, Orphe still has a lot of chances to grow with additional agents in the future, although that's very speculative. But that's me just trying to make you aware that that's a possibility I could see coming. Alright everybody, let's wrap this up. Let me know your pulling plans down in the comments. Do you agree with my takes? Do you have some other twist to them? Or what's your thought process? I'm really curious to find out. What's my own? Well, this is gonna be a hard end of the patch. I would love to pick up Evelyn's M2. I really fucking would, but I also did enjoy my time with Orphe on the creator server, and I do like the Aftershock team. So I think I'll try to pick up Orphe, engine, and then with any pulls we might have left over, maybe we'll try to power up Evelyn slightly more. We will see. Everybody, best of luck in your pulling plans. Have a big hug, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Hako out.
Oh, I wish that you could just take it easy. Lay back, fast the way I roll. So get off my